was middle school like for me, you may ask? Trash. Why, hello there, class of 2026. And if this video is 1 year old, hello there, class of 2027. And if this video is still relevant 3 years after that, then hello, class of 2028, 2029, and 2030. My god, that sounds so crazy saying 2030. It's kind of scary. Well, anyways, hello guys. If you're not in any of those classes, and because you're probably older than whoever the heck is watching this, hello everyone. My name's Nicole and welcome to Nicole's Topic, and today's topic is middle school. The hormone shack days. Anyways, for this video, I'm just gonna give you guys 10 tips for middle school. What I'll be sharing today is stuff that I wish I knew before I stepped into the 6th grade. And just a footnote, before I start sharing, I just want to say, like, as I was searching for inspiration to make this vid, I noticed that there wasn't a lot of middle school advice on YouTube, which is kind of weird because a lot of the demographic nowadays seems to be like more kids watching YouTube than adults. Or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But then again, there are some adults, so anywho, let's just get started on this advice, shall we? Tip number 1 is to be yourself. And when I say be yourself, embrace your personality. Like, don't try to be someone you're not. Because if you want to make some like genuine friends, it's really good that they're friends with you because they like the actual you, not this fake you created. The last thing you want in middle school is this whole big charade going around between other students where they're like, oh, Sally is very nice, she does this and that, and then this other person's like, no she ain't, she actually does this and that, and then like something does not add up. So just stick to yourself. If you like to wear an outfit with smiley faces on it, then who's here to stop? If you're a person who likes to wear red dresses, then wear your red dress. Just try to not be someone else, you know? Because eventually people will find out. Number 2 is don't force yourself upon others, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that in just a second. Basically, you're going to meet some nice people in middle school and just some downright rude people. And in 6th grade, since you're new to the environment, you're gonna be wanting to make some new friends in your classes, and some people might not just be interested, no matter how hard you try. So if someone just is not taking up your offer for friendship and stuff like that, just be civil with the person and just move on to someone else. I know when I was in middle school, I would have had a lot of extra minutes to do something else in my life that would be more productive than bothering someone who doesn't even want to deal with me. So, and just because they don't want to deal with you, it might not be you. They might not be wanting to make a new friend right now, and that's totally fine. Just move on. Tip number 3 is drama. In middle school and high school and maybe college, drama is unavoidable. You're going to experience it. You're going to see others experience it. Heck, even your friends will experience it. And there's not much you can do about that fact, but what you can do is minimize the amount of drama you go through in middle school. Of course, try to stay away from drama and try not to cause it, which basically goes back to tip number 1 all over again, by just be yourself and be honest with others. If your friends are going through drama, the best you can do is just support them and just be there for them. Try not to get yourself involved in it unless it's a really good reason. Number 4 is about friendships. When you hit 6th grade, some of your friends in elementary school might just disappear, and it might not be because of you or them, it might just be a gradual mutual thing. When I graduated 5th grade, I graduated out with 2 best friends, and after 1 year of middle school and up until now, I only talked to 1 friend out of 2 that I knew in elementary. And it wasn't because we got in a fight or anything, it's more like we just lost contact with each other because our schedules and our lives became busier. There's no hard feelings, and sure, I do miss her. I'll always enjoy the fun memories we had. And it is a sad reality, but that's just how it can be. But yeah, try to, especially when you start going into 6th grade, try to stay close with your elementary friend. Once you step into 6th grade, don't ignore them, you know? And if you're going to the 6th grade in a brand new slate in this brand new school and none of your friends are there, it may seem nerve-wracking, but you'll eventually make some friends. Sort of thing will just happen over time. I went from a public to private school for my 6th grade, and no one from my public school was going to the same school I was going to, so I came in to my private school with literally no friends, didn't know anybody. But after 3 days, I eventually made 3 friends. So yeah, they'll come over time. Number 5 is dating. Please don't do it, because I've never dated in middle school, thank God. But I've seen relationships in middle school, and let me tell you, it is not much better than elementary school relationships. In fact, they're mostly worse most of the time. They create unneeded drama. Y'all can't drive, you're not old enough, so like, where would you go for your date, you know? It can cause havoc in friendships. It can affect your education. And most of all, they never last. High-key, most of the middle school relationships that I've seen through my middle school career, most of the time, they would last from the minimum of like 1 week to a few months. And most of the time when these relationships end, they're never on a good note. There's always something bad going on once the breakup stage happens. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say this thing I'm about to say, but most of the time when someone else agrees to date you, they might not even be because they like you, it might be because to upgrade their status to, oh, I have a girlfriend or boyfriend. It's just a waste of time. And I know you guys in middle school are going to experience these weird new feelings, but just I advise not to date. If best, just have crushes, but just leave them as crushes and just be their friends if you can, of course. Tip number 6 is to start developing note-taking and study habits. Your grades in middle school, college is not gonna care about that. If you get a D in English in the 7th grade, for example, it's bad, but colleges don't look at that, and you can like still recover from that, you know? You have like the opportunity to like learn from it. The reason why I'm saying this, especially if you're entering a private middle school, I just finished freshman year in high school. And in high school, that's when your grades for each quarter start to matter. And something I've noticed a lot just from observation during my first year of high school is that a lot of people come in and some of them will panic because they didn't really take notes or studied at all in middle school, and now all of a sudden they realize like, oh my god, I have to like do this. And like, they're suffering for a while. If you start developing study habits and note-taking habits in the 6th grade, if something goes wrong, you can still have the opportunity to learn from it. And you'll definitely be prepared for high school. And as I said earlier, when I say like, especially if you're going to a private school, I'll be more detailed about that in the next video. But basically, private schools have higher expectations for the academics. The grading system is most likely going to be higher. So like if a B, so like in my public school area, B's are an 80 through an 89%. That's a B. In my private school, a B, like the low B, would be an 85 to 90. Below that is a C+. And especially if this private school is like a K through 8 school, by 6th grade, teachers expect these kids and you, no matter if you're new or not, to already have study or note-taking habits. I mean, since they're new, they'll go a little bit easy on you, but I'm just saying this because I thought private school was about the same as a public school. I did not prepare myself at all for this higher expectation for academics. So yeah, it's just good to start on that stuff early. My next tip, which is going to be number 7, and that's going to be me discussing about locker rooms. Most middle schools, at least around here, it's mandatory for each year for you to take gym class. And most middle schools will make you wear gym uniforms. In my case, since my private school already had uniforms, they just made you wear the gym uniform for the whole day, which I honestly think that's kind of unhygienic for preteens and tweens and teenagers. I know most public middle schools will have locker rooms, and the idea of just changing in a locker room is kind of daunting to say the least, because you'll be exposing some of your private parts of yourself to other people. But you know, most people who are in a locker room for their first time is most likely feeling the same way you're feeling, very uncomfortable and insecure. My advice to you guys is just get changed and just use the bathroom if you can and leave. I mean, eventually, the more you do it, the more you're gonna get comfortable with the process and idea of a locker room, and you might start just changing and talking to your friends at the same time. For some reason, a lot of people, before they go to a locker room for the first time, feel insecure because they think someone's gonna make fun of them. And this is just my opinion, but if someone makes fun of you for like your underwear or your bra if you're a girl, or your belly button or something, then that's kind of freaking sad if they're doing that to you. And I would just block them out and just ask them like, why are you looking at me? That's kind of creepy. If you're really feeling that uncomfortable changing in front of other people, then change in a corner or change in a bathroom if you can, of course. Or depending on what you're wearing, just wear biker or skin tight shorts under your outfit, and as you get changed, no one will see your underwear, I guess. But yes, when you're in a locker room, no one's focusing on other people, they're just focusing on themselves because they have to get changed as well. And it really is not that scary. Tip number 8 is don't rush to grow up. I mean, most of you guys entering middle school are 11 and will turn 12. Like, y'all are still kids. Like, you don't have to worry about getting a license, you don't have to worry about going to college, you don't have to worry about getting a job. You're still living under your parents' roof. They still provide for you. And like, when you turn 12, that's the last year where you're basically still like a kid, you know? Like, that's the last year before you turn into a teenager. Like, enjoy your youth, you know? Like, enjoy being a kid, because in a few years, believe it or not, you're gonna look back at the time you were in 6th grade and you were like 11 and 12, and if you were focusing on that time of just trying to make yourself be an adult, even though it's not really needed to, you might have regret, because now when you're older, you have more responsibilities and you can't really act so childish per se. So yeah, just don't rush. Maturity comes naturally and within time. People mature in different rates and you can't control that, you know. Number 9 is start working on a sleep schedule. As soon as you hit puberty, your nocturnal clock starts to like make you naturally stay up later. Going to sleep is harder. But if you have terrible sleeping habits now, it's only going to get worse, and it's going to be, and just speaking from experience, it's so hard to change it. If I could go back in time, a thing I would work on is my sleeping schedule. I know it's easier said than done, like, trust me, I'm a night owl too, so that doesn't help my situation, but just try to make a healthy sleep schedule and try to get the healthy amount of hours, even if it's 8 hours of sleep. That's way better than 6 or 7. My last very tip is tip number 10, and that is make sure you have someone to talk to. Whether it's your mom, dad, or best friend. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna go through some tough crap in middle school, and bottling all those negative emotions in is just not a good idea. Don't be afraid to speak up and talk to someone if something is troubling you and you need advice. It's not wrong to ask for help. And yeah, those are my tips. I hope I helped you guys, and comment down below if you're going to 6th grade this year. It may have been a while since I've been to middle school, but it hasn't really been that long since I graduated from middle school, so my tips are still pretty relevant in my opinion. Middle school is probably gonna be hard for some of you guys, I'm not gonna lie, but just try to make the best of it. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys are gonna have a nice middle school experience. And another thing I want to say before I end this video is, like, your 6th grade year is going to be pretty busy, especially at the start. because you're getting adjusted to the new environment, you're getting adjusted to all of the new people, and just more responsibilities. 7th grade for me was a pretty chill year because I didn't have to worry about high school yet. I didn't have to get adjusted to a new environment because I already did. So that's just something I just want to say for those of you guys, class of 2025, and you're going to 7th grade. Your 7th grade year is most likely going to be very chill. It's going to be most likely very relaxed. And exciting because you guys are turning 13 years old. Yeah, I hope my tips have helped, and yeah. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheerio.